As that way.
Jeopardy question. What is individuation? The process of integrating the unconscious with the conscious mind. It is also the key to breaking the cycles of archetypes. That's what I plan to go into this section. And the quote that I love that really kind of explains it is unconscious appreciation. So transforming unconscious suppression, sorry, to conscious appreciation. That process, that transformation, that movement. And it kind of is similar to, it's kind of similar to the hero's journey diagram in that there's the two worlds. There's the ordinary world, and then there's the special world. Inner world inside us, and outer world. And then we're going to go, okay, the known world. This was the main one that you usually see is the known world, what we're comfortable with, the status quo, and then we leave that world and go into the unknown world. And then we have our abyss experience and then our transformation. You come back to the ordinary world a little bit different, a little higher version of yourself. That's the way we've been teaching it about. But in this one, I want to go take that axis in the middle, and I want to move it this way, and give you a new model. And this model is a model of the psyche. The psyche, and the best definition I found is the totality of a human mind, both conscious and unconscious. It encapsulates the memories, let's see, the experiences that you've had, your thoughts, your feelings, the driving forces behind all your behaviors. We know if on the in the white, we know about the ego, our identity. Tom even talked about it. We know that the persona is like a mask, like a personality of who we are, like underneath, like our relationships, our the ways that we believe who we are. It's our conscious mind, what we're aware of on the outside. At the very, very, very end is like the external objects. Let's just say materialistic. You can even divide it into like the Platonic, like there's the material and there's the spiritual. The conscious is like the material. The conscious is what we know, what we're aware of, what we're used to. And then what I liked about this is that little part, the dividing part is the subconscious mind. So you've got the conscious and you got the subconscious, and I never knew what it was until I did this series of studying the part of the mind that operates outside the conscious awareness. So it's different from the conscious awareness, and this is where it stores your thoughts, your feelings, your memories, the automatic processes that influence actions and feelings. Like one time I saw like that if there's a ship and the person that's the captain of the ship is determining where it goes, but the power of how it works and like the machinery and stuff, that's your subconscious, your program, and things that we do that we're not completely aware of. And it's interesting that that's kind of like the dividing part and the bridge part that goes into the unknown or unconscious world. So I want to do before we go a little bit deeper, I want to share a 30-second video.
Journey to the self is deeply personal, but it also connects us to something greater than ourselves. Jung saw individuation as a sacred process, one that aligns us with the deeper currents of life and the collective unconscious. When we embrace our archetypes and integrate them, we not only transform our inner world, we also contribute to the collective growth of humanity. Take a moment to reflect. What steps can you take to make the unconscious conscious in your own life? Can you identify a recurring pattern, symbol, or archetype that has shaped your journey?
Okay. And then go to this one.
Journey to the self.
Okay, this is your turn. Anybody like to comment on either of these questions? What steps can you make to make the unconscious conscious in your own life? So to kind of put one and go to the other. Or another one is, can you identify a recurring pattern, symbol, archetype that has shaped your journey? And I'll go into archetype if you're not completely sure what that is, but uh, the important thing is what has happened or what have you done in order to make the conscious the unconscious more aware of that side that we know is there through dreams, through programming patterns, addictions, things that we do that we wish we didn't do. I was wondering if anybody would like to. It's like your passion. There's a pattern to your passion, and I think that um, everybody can relate with the. I mean, so the individuation is about the self, the psyche. You know, your psyche is your total self. Carl Jung had the capital S for it's who we are now and the potential of everything that we could be. But mainly when we go to the human uh, explaining the self, who we are, they use the heart as the center, and and we also have the heart is like where our passion is, and so it's not an accident that those patterns that I'll use the word after this video archetype. That's where around where they must dwell somewhere, and that's where we put them. What I have seen the heart center, the center of our being, the heart emotional center. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play a quick video. It's only like 1 minute, and then I'm going to go to the diagram again that I introduced here.
Journey to the self is deeply personal, that has shaped your journey. To truly embrace the self, we must revisit the concept of individuation, a lifelong journey of integrating the conscious and unconscious mind. This journey isn't linear or easy. It's a process filled with challenges, self-discovery, and moments of profound insight. But the rewards are extraordinary. A deeper understanding of who we are, a greater sense of purpose, and a life lived in alignment with our true nature. Let's begin by addressing a key misconception. Many people think that integrating the unconscious means eliminating their flaws or fixing themselves. But Carl Jung believed the opposite. He saw the process of individuation as a journey toward wholeness, not perfection. To be whole is to accept every part of ourselves, the light and the shadow, the strengths and the vulnerabilities, the beauty and the imperfection. It's important to remember that individuation is not a destination, but a way of being. It's about cultivating a mindset of openness, curiosity, and self-compassion. It's about embracing the paradoxes and contradictions within us, recognizing that they are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth. The ultimate revelation of Jung's work is this: the unconscious is not something to be feared or avoided. It is a source of immense wisdom, creativity, and strength. By making the unconscious conscious, we not only transform ourselves, but also contribute to the collective evolution of humanity.
That kind of puts the hero's journey in perspective. What's the point of going through the abyss, the cave, facing your dragon and coming out of it? It's not for us. It's not for the hero to look good. It's for other people. And it's that's the thing about individuation. Carl Jung, he calls it a sacred process. So this is like adding spirituality to psychology of making the unconscious conscious. And it's about contributing to the growth of humanity. And I thought if you look at the external objects that are going on right now, like pollution, hatred, violence, pain, all those things, it's like our purpose is to match the unconscious with the conscious, the inner world with the outer world. So when our inner world has that kind of, what is it called, paradox, it has paradise, whatever. We all want paradise, paradological. Joseph Campbell used that term one time. I liked it, but it's we want heaven on earth. We want it's in there. It is in there. And maybe it's in there not just from our experiences as a child, if we had effed up experiences, but maybe they were in there from generations and collectively uh, kind of wanting wants to happen and maybe it already has been born, obviously, when Jesus says kingdom of God. Um, and so it is a process, individuation. And in that process, we explore the unconscious. And part of the unconscious
Journey to the self.
is this is the unconscious side of the map. I think it's more exciting, more interesting. You've got the collective unconscious, which are the memories, instincts, experiences from our ancestors. Um, and then you've got the anima, animus. I'm still trying to figure this out, but it has to do with like these far archetypes of like woman's rational function and men's kind of that like there's animus in us, like the feminine side of me, like attracts it to like a woman who has got a male side. So they evolve the anima animus. But what I wanted to concentrate today on is the archetype of the shadow. And what archetype means is the original pattern from which copies are made. And there's different archetypes. There's a hero archetype, there's the wise man, there's a king, there's a queen, there's a father, there's a mother, and then there's the shadow. And so archetypes are things that they go across culture and they're like recurring motifs. And these are where myths come in, or stories, or dreams. So these archetypes are real. They're like models of who we want to be, or they're like identity, like for instance the hero and how we relate to the hero when we see these movies like Star Wars or Lion King. There's something about that hero or that king that we're drawn to, that we want to be like. It's just written inside us. Um, so the shadow, let's go to the shadow. The shadow, I have my pointer here. The shadow right here, real quick, it's a stronger component than the anima because it's closer to us. We can relate with the insecurity, with these things in the unconscious that just don't go away no matter what. That's what the archetype is. The shadow actually represents these desires, hidden desires, repressed fears, qualities that we deny or even disown. Now, I like this, what one person says, it's everything about ourselves that we fail to recognize, and we even project it unto others. This shadow being or archetype. And so the process of individuation, and what you're doing is you're integrating the whole self. The shadow, it must be acknowledged. Uh, like was it Vicky? She always was aware of it, but then only recently do you actually face it or deal with it or accept it rather than suppress it. Remember the unconscious suppression. And so what it means facing your fears, your insecurities, your contradictions. Um, when integrated, the shadow can become a source of strength, creativity, and authenticity. This shadow archetype here. And oh yeah, by the way, here's the central is the self. This is like our heart. If you put this is two-dimensional, but maybe three-dimensional model, this would be our heart. And this is kind of temporal, so it doesn't really have any space or time. But these things we know from generations and from myths that they're real and that they're effective. And let's see, the last part is something called active imagination, that there's different ways that we can integrate the archetype. They call it like reflection, dreamwork, creativity, journaling, meditation, therapy. And I thought this was interesting. Long-lasting relationships with the opposite sex. Makes sense, right? Getting that stuff out. So the question is, how can active imagination help us integrate the shadow self? And I'm going to leave it with this, that the AI actually created through me. It says, let me get it off. In the castle of many mansions, the shadow may dwell in the dimly lit corridors, lurking at the edges of awareness, whispering doubts or shaping fears. Yet, moving inward requires courage to confront these unseen forces, transforming them into stepping stones towards deeper self-understanding.
Join our next gathering. For the date and time, check out aslansway.com.